In this video I want to present you the location of every component from this Peugeot 107. Now this is gonna be exactly the same as it is on a Toyota Aygo or Citroen C1. So let's start with the driver side. We've got here the 12 volt battery, the coolant reservoir. This is the connector for the radiator fan. We've got here a fuse box. Here we have the brake fluid reservoir, and here we have the brake fluid level sensor, this vacuum line to the brake booster. That vacuum line will connect here on the intake manifold. One coolant hose which goes to the heater core. It comes from the thermostat housing, and from that heat exchanger or heater core we've got this main coolant hose which returns back to the engine. Now from these two main coolant hoses we've got connected two small ones, and they will connect to the throttle body back here. Now behind the throttle body we've got here the manifold absolute pressure sensor and the intake air temperature sensor. This big plastic chamber is the intake manifold. We've got here the injectors, 3 of them for 3 cylinders with 3 coil packs. Under them you're gonna find the spark plugs. This is a PCV hose, will recirculate the gases from the crankcase. Now under here you've got the coolant temperature sensor. It's a 2-wire connector. Here we have the oxygen sensor number 1. I believe these are narrowband oxygen sensors. Down there we've got the alternator and the serpentine belt, engine oil cap, engine oil dipstick, the crankshaft position sensor, and behind here next to the intake manifold it's the camshaft position sensor. Here we have the main ECU, the computer of the car. And from this point let's go under the car and see what we're gonna find there. The oil filter, the oil pan, the oxygen sensor number 2 after the catalytic converter, which is up there. We've got here a transmission mount. Here we have the manual transmission. Here is the AC compressor. We've got here the radiator fan. Obviously the radiator in front, it's kind of a small one. We've got here the tensioner, obviously the crankshaft pulley. Now if you look back here, you're gonna see the intake manifold, and there is the starter motor. Maybe you can see it better from here. On top there it's the actuator. Here next to the starter we've got the oil pressure sensor and the NOx sensor. Then on top there we've got the variable valve timing solenoid. Obviously here we have the fuel lines and the evap lines. Alright, so these are pretty much all the components from under the car. In the cabin we've got 2 fuse boxes, one on each side of the speedometer. The OBD2 port is there, and the cabin air filter is under the dashboard, very easy to remove. Now the fuel pump assembly, you can find it under the rear seat. Okay guys, so that's pretty much all you can see on this engine bay. Thanks for watching, take care and have a nice day.